All right, everybody. So I thought we'd work a little bit with Tummo, and today's not that many pictures. It's just going to be talking, but after this conversation, you're going to have something you can try out next time. You sit down, and so we can say we're starting here at a little bit of a higher energy. And so we say the lower energy is you sitting down, and the sensuality can be that, oh, I'm a little bit cold. So maybe you're like me this morning, you get up a little bit early, and you like to have the oven at like a little bit less than 20 degrees when you go to bed. So it's cold and you want to get into the bed. And so you wake up, it's very cold, right? It's very cold. It's, oh, I need very cold. But now is the perfect time to actually sit down on the mat. You don't even have to take off clothes. You can take off all the clothes and just wear a loincloth so you don't ruin your underwear doing yoga. And so maybe you do a little like this, just to wake up your entire body. You do a little plank, and you can think of willpower, right? You think of the willpower as the fire element, right? Imagine that chakra, but instead of the usual petals, you look at it like, it's a gas stove. And on top of that gas stove, the air that comes into our lung is like water on cooking on the gas stove. It gets hot, and the water becomes hot, and it starts to have like very hot steam coming up from the bubbling water, and here you can see it inside of the body. So underneath here we have the spreading, and we have the spreading of the navel. It's spreading all across, and on top of that sits the fire. Is like getting warm inside of our chest. So we can sit down and can feel the heart at the heart of the body, right? So think of a black hole inside of yourself, and not death. Imagine that you just died. You lay down, you died, then you got back up, and so death is trying to steal your heat, but it's like, no, I'm gonna keep. I have my own black hole inside, which is the heart. And don't think like heart that's beating, but like essence. Very core, very close. Shushumna. Shushumna and the closest nadis. So left, right channel, middle channel, right? And that heart is maintaining all your essence energy. It's trying to absorb it and keep it close. So death is coming here. Ooh, I wanna suck you up and make you come back out. But it's like, no, I don't have to do that, because I have my integrity now, and I can keep this energy at my heart, the center of. So think of where you are, think of your position now into the center of that. And as you feel that much stronger, now you can afford feeling directions. If you have done chakra work, you can feel like, I feel my center, I feel, like 4 petals in different directions, and now it starts to spin, and I feel the whole area, and so this one is trying to suck you in, but you're just working with my subtle body. Or it could just be a dream. Just a dream yoga. And then you have, maybe you do a little bit of this, your back is a little stiff, so you do a puppy pose. You cannot do a downward facing dog, but you can do a puppy pose, and then you can feel all the different chakras in like its form. Using a simplistic form, so you don't have to like detailed work out your body. And imagine like a super duper shield around that black hole, which is just sucking everything into it and enabling you to keep your energy. You keep it, right? And so it's like a heart chakra, 12 petals, 12 spokes. How to think about that? Well, you can think a clock, right? A clock has 12 numbers. Same thing here, 12 petals. So you feel 12 directions out from your core. And even if you can't feel your heartbeat, it's even more important to imagine the heartbeat, because if not, the dream is gonna not become lucid, right? Then downward facing dog, right? And then you feel the blood flow above your heart. Like just, oh, I feel so good on stage in my weight building competition. It's like calming on a stage and calming in my chest. Just every day I just calm and calm and calm, you know. And so you imagine that, and you imagine like the flow of energy, especially into your hands, and you know, the eye, you know, right? So now, after a short little workout like that, just stretch a little bit. We can begin with this, yeah? So we imagine a candle here, lighting a fire underneath our ass, right? And so it goes up here, goes up, very warm here. Warm from all the intestines, right? Around here. And we have our adrenals here. Those are very important. Adrenals and the Manipura chakra. And then we have the this one, which is like it's a little divide here called the diaphragm, very important. And then we have this, it's the heart and the lungs, very important. And then we have the jugular. We must protect our jugular. We must also protect this, very important. And then we have like the veins and our head, but the top of our head gets a little bit of help as we get warmer because the heat rises upwards. So of course, protect here, yeah. And then imagine two hemispheres. The Earth has two hemispheres, and the lower hemisphere, right, is like warmth, right? Warmth from all the guts forming around the main blood supply column vein that's in the center, close to the spine. So feel close to the spine and maybe push against it, you know. But this here expands. That's what it does. It starts here, just 4 spokes, expands into 64 spokes, 8 times, you know, for each spoke. And also, you can, when you've done that, you can even and make this one expand. Yeah, this will also. Then can you even have more air? But you must remember, air can come in, but it's gonna be cold if you're on top of the mountain. If you're in like a cold night and you're doing the big test, it's gonna be cold. So we want quick cold inhale and hold it. So imagine a ice bucket being poured over you. What do? You do like that. Very good. Okay, what can we add to it? Well, we can relax this area, and then we can relax here and maybe get in another breath. So 2 breaths first, and so ham, in all the way in here, or hung, yeah. So first ham inward, no like. And hung, which is like warrior. You have to fight to get it all the way in here. That's like the traditional stuff, right? Basically, expand here as much as possible. Now keep it, yeah. Warming up the air, keeping it inside, and also, you know, keeping it inside. Let it get warm. So it's like money. It's like good or bad debt. Is my breath becoming, is it becoming colder or warmer around this area as I exhale a long exhale, long and warm exhale through my nose? Maybe it is smart to do alternate nostril breathing because there's one nostril that's a little bit slower than the other nostril, and I can warm as long as both nostrils, as long as the nose can stay warm. Then I can breathe out very, very slowly. So there are 3 things. It's the inhale, warm, making it warm by keeping it, and expanding here, and breathing out very slowly. So it's like basically 3 main energies, which is in, hold, and make warm, right? So 3 energies. And of course, protect. You must, if it's very cold, you must protect your extremities. So back to the ice bucket example, you get ice water here. What do you do with your hands? You put them on your chest. You put them here, right? You put them on the body. You put them together, maintaining warmth inside. So that one you can also do. Notice now that, even though we do yoga, technically, when you get very good, when you get very aware, you can do this without doing yoga. And so you can also do this. Don't exhale to warm nose or mouth if not needed. You can just do this. You can just into your mouth and nose and back down into your lungs, just to make it warm, and then have all the exhale upwards here, right? What do you do with your legs to preserve warmth here? You cross them. Yeah? What is the preferred way? Vajrasana, so full lotus. Why? So that we can warm our feet on top of this area here with the big veins. Right? But you will probably need to make some maneuvers in order to make sure you just can't allow your hands, and especially this. Yeah, this you must protect. If you have to sit on your hands, you have to sit on your hands, right? So you gotta, how sit on your hands, then rub your chest so that your chest becomes warm and your hands become warm. Sit on your hands, right? This is like, you gotta be smart, okay? Now, I've discussed with you breathing yourself warm, right? This is not Tummo. Like this thing here, this has potential to become Tummo, but it's a whole system, and you're basically trying to do all 6 things at once. So maybe, I can produce, but I also I produce the illusory body by focusing on my heat and my core and, all my energies. But I also shoot. You could think of it like an attack with clear light into the void. I shoot my clear light into the void when I've kind of been able to get a grasp of my presence enough to actually do something about the problem. But you don't want it to be a problem. You want to be like, I can help you, and so you can have a rainbow body, I can have a rainbow body, but so it's basically a cooperation. So imagine this thing. We can say death, but we can also say dream. Okay, so this is the dream right here, trying to take my consciousness. It's better we say dream, but it's better to use the example of death, so we use death. Death is coming here. And so it's taking away my breath, like, Zah. And then I cannot breathe, but I imagine that I can breathe. And so I go into here, I find the air element, and I imagine myself breathing. And because I don't have any distractions because of the void, when I imagine myself breathing, I feel myself breathing. And this is something you can do if you do mindfulness body scanning. And it's kind of the opposite of that, because then you're trying to keep vipassana. You're trying to keep your breath, but you're falling asleep, and so your breath becomes automatic, and it's like, oh shit. But when you do that in reverse, it's like this one is taking my breath away, but it doesn't matter because I have automatic breathing, because I've absorbed that. I've had samadhi, right? So I've absorbed it. It's mine. You can have that breath. That was something I borrowed. But now that you're taking it away, now I can really feel my absorptions, right? And then there's also this sexual energy. Tummo. The meaning of Tummo is like, okay, so maybe I can get warm. Yeah, but there, I was on top of a mountain doing this. I was doing this on top of a mountain to win a bet, and I could do it, but it was boring. There was a bunch of psychological factors. But then, someone I liked, and nobody knew, it was like a secret, went up on the mountain that was the other mountain and lit up a bonfire. And so when I looked at that light far, far away, I became warm inside. Yeah. So that's Tummo, right? That there's somebody like that out there.